Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for All About Android is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
This episode of All About Android is brought to you by SmartThings. SmartThings lets you monitor, control, and automate your home from wherever you are using your smartphone. Right now, SmartThings is offering All About Android listeners 10% off any home security or solution kit and get free shipping in the U.S. when you go to smartthings.com/twit and use the offer code TWIT at checkout. And by lynda.com, the online learning platform with over 3,000 on-demand video courses to help you strengthen your business, technology, and creative skills. For a free 10-day trial, visit lynda.com/allaboutandroid. That's lynda.com/allaboutandroid. And by LegalZoom, if you're looking to incorporate, form an LLC or nonprofit, get a DBA, and more, LegalZoom can help you get started the right way. LegalZoom is not a law firm, but can connect you with an independent attorney. Visit LegalZoom.com and use offer code AAA to receive $10 off at checkout. Hello, welcome to another episode of All About Android, episode 210, recorded on Tuesday, April 21st, 2015. We're your weekly source for the latest news, hardware, and apps for the Android faithful. I'm Jason Howell.
I'm Ron Richards.
And man, I'm thrilled to welcome back Brady Forrest, head of Highway 1, co-founder of Ignite. And you've been on the show many times over the course of the entire show run. I think
it's
your
like
first
5 or 6 timer now.
It's like me and Steve Martin.
You're our Tom Hanks.
We have yet to get Steve Martin on the show, but we're working very
crossing our fingers
man,
every
one of these
week.
Days, it's going to work out. Let's see here. The first time you were on was way back in episode 25. So you're a lifer.
Yeah,
you're all about Android
back
lifer.
When I was with O'Reilly and we were doing Android Open.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That was a fun day. That was down at the Hyatt. Right? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
and who spoke was Bob Lee, who is the former CTO of Square and on Android, and he's listening right now.
Well, there you
Bob.
go.
So Bob was pretty instrumental to early Android. So and if you go back to look at the O'Reilly talks, he did a talk about their design goals. And I remember over-the-air updates was super important to them back then.
Oh, wow.
So that way they could go into emerging markets.
Right.
Interesting, and how important that's become.
Look how we've developed.
And now it's just like one of those things you take for granted at this point.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, okay, before we kind of get into the show, let's talk about what you've been up to, because it's been, I don't know, about 2 years since you were on last time. I'm not even quite sure why it's been that long. I love having you on the show. Highway 1, you're doing awesome things there. Apparently, you have a TV show coming out.
Yeah.
What is going on with you? What happened?
Catch us up.
I've been busy. So Highway 1 is a hardware accelerator. We've had a number of things come out of it. NavD, which actually runs Android, is a heads-up display for cars. And Ringly, which I'll talk about later on. Mm-hmm. We produce all these awesome hardware startups. So we were contacted by the nice folks at Sci-Fi Channel and 0.0, the guys who do the Anthony Bourdain show. And we were asked if they could come in and follow some of our teams. And so we teamed up with Dave McClure at 500 Startups, and they're following 6 of our startups over right now.
Wow.
I'm filming tomorrow. And then at the end, we're going to produce 6 one-hour episodes, each of which is devoted just to that startup. So it's they come in week 0 with the science fair project, and we work with them, and we hope they leave with a product. And it just kind of shows, and I've been super impressed. The first week, Sci-Fi sent a bunch of execs in, and they were watching kind of the onboarding meetings where we're meeting the team, obviously met them, but meeting them, seeing what's going on with the prototypes. And Sci-Fi came back and said, we want to have more engineering. Could you dig into, could you make the show smarter?
Mm-hmm. Are you looking for the cameras to film the prototype?
Oh man, there's tons of cameras. There's cameras everywhere. So I mean, when you're being filmed, but they're we want time in the shop where you're taking apart the prototype and showing us how it works. And so
it's fascinating.
it's been kind of pretty awesome actually so far.
You hear all about these things when you don't know somebody who's involved with it, as far as kind of reality TV in air quotes, and how real is it? Does it feel like, does it change the tone of what you guys do having cameras there? Or?
No, it doesn't change the tone. But what it's done is, I view it as like a parable, right? It's 16 weeks of a program, and we fit it into 43 minutes, right? And so sometimes they ask us to talk about like, will you go meet the team and talk about this? And maybe it's a conversation I would have, or it might have been a conversation I would have over a period of time, but instead we decided to go have it then.
I see.
So like an example was one of the teams, one of the prototypes was late, and they're like, "Oh, how did you find out?" I was like, "I found out in an email, and it's fine. Like, it's a bummer. It'll be fine." They're like, "Well, will you talk about it with them?" I was like,
"We can't just show a picture of the email."
Yeah. And so we had the conversation, and there were details that hadn't been worked out, and so that kind of got covered.
Interesting.
And
that's fascinating.
Like, I don't view that. Those are all genuine reactions that were happening as we were doing it. It's just sometimes we have to like make it happen on camera.
Right. Because it's all about video.
And I have no idea which of these things are going to end up.
The editing.
You record all this.
Oh
stuff.
totally.
43 minutes or however long.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Well, cool. So that's it's called the Bazillion Dollar Club.
Yeah, kind of tongue in cheek around like what these guys are they're trying to make businesses that succeed.
That's great. And when can people?
What's cooler than $1 billion? A
bazillion.
It's the obvious next step. When can people find this on the Sci-Fi Channel?
September.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
cool.
the exact date
I can't
is
wait.
being figured out. But like this weekend, Dave and I were in there filming like television spots. Wow. Sci-Fi, Imagine Greater. Sci-Fi, Sci-Fi, Imagine Greater. A bazillion times greater. It's like, it's fun.
Cool. You really should have done what's cooler than $1 billion.
Yeah.
A bazillion
Maybe,
dollars.
Season 2.
And with a little air gun, or something.
Give it to you for free.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's awesome. That's fascinating. But definitely check out what Brady's up to. Highway1.io to find out more there. And we've got a lot of news in this show. We're going to be talking about Android's hooks in Google search, some new announcements there. Cyanogen's deal with Microsoft. Android Wear's biggest update yet. We might even have the Apple Watch in studio. I don't know. Just throwing that out there randomly for no reason whatsoever. And more. But before we get to the Apple Watch, whatever that thing is, let's get into the news.
Where's my music? There we are. The only thing cooler than regular news is Android news.
Good save.
Well,
Good
no,
save.
well, yeah.
I appreciate that you're wonderment. You're wondering where the music was.
Where's
but still
my
done in
audio?
radio voice. Where's my music?
He's got to get in character and then go all the way through it.
So I realize we just played the news bumper, but I think it's also time to break some breaking news
Back to back.
all over the place. Was this show so bumper filled when you were on last time?
No.
We've gotten
You guys
much,
are-
our
yeah.
production values have gone way up.
I've noticed.
Much thanks to Jeff Kosmicki and Bryan
and
the
Bryan
rest of the
for
great
execution.
Team. Yeah, so
Yes.
we're smooth.
All right, we talked a lot about Google's possible MVNO on the show many times. Moments before we sat down at this table to record the show, Wall Street Journal reported that Google is expected to introduce its wireless service to the world as early as tomorrow. Wow. So, and they said in there, kind of confirming what we already have heard, customers will pay only for the data that they use every month. So it's not a pay for this, you don't use it all, tough luck, pay for it again next month. You actually only end up paying in some way for the data that you use, and you're either refunded at the end of the month, or I'm not sure how that's going to work. Nexus 6 also does appear to be the launch device for this service initially, apparently, according to these sources. So that will either happen tomorrow or it won't. There you go.
The typical rumor,
I know.
like the rumor caveat.
But I got to say, Nexus 6, it's my device, and if this happens, I'm in. Like, I'm all about it.
That's awesome. That is a huge game changer. I mean, nobody truly credible has done something like this yet. And to have it tied to devices and services, wow.
Yeah. And it's not surprising that's the Nexus 6. I mean, that's the one they're pushing. I mean, it would be nice if they launched a new device along with the service, like maybe a smaller one. But but
a burner.
Yeah, a burner. Right?
A Nexus burner phone.
I want my Nexus 5 II. I want this size, and that's too big. But that, I mean, it's hard to turn that away. I mean, if you look at that Surface offering and you're thinking about getting a new phone, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I mean, the one phone choice, I doubt that that's a long-term thing. Right. Some people in the chat room are saying, one phone choice? What's that? What's that all about? But I think it's I mean, this would be a big deal, a big effort for Google. I think that it's kind of like Google Fiber, right? Like they didn't roll that out nationwide. Right. It started with one place, and they proved that they could do it, and then they rolled it out to more. So it's probably kind of the same thing here. The Nexus 6 is
what's the one
Google Fiber.
Yeah, but the Nexus 6 is also the device that they want to move. Yeah, it's they've got a vested interest in
it.
So I'm sure there's a warehouse.
I wonder if they'd have device incentives for purchasing the Nexus 6 if you sign up for.
And I bet they want to gate their capacity right now.
Yeah,
they really just like bring people on, make sure it's not screwed up.
And pilot program-esque,
Right. So that's cool. I'll be waiting less than 24 hours.
So so if it is real and they announce it, you pull the trigger immediately. You're on board.
I mean, I'll see what the process is, but I mean, I have nothing to lose, right? Like I'm already with T-Mobile. So and this service supposedly has deals with T-Mobile and Sprint, and it'll hop between them based on the best connectivity, and then also utilize Wi-Fi for calls if Wi-Fi is available. I mean, all in an effort to kind of minimize the amount that you pay, and then paying only for what you use. Like, man, this sounds beautiful.
And that's really interesting because, like, I'm on T-Mobile, but I'm a grandfathered old contract or a previous contract where I just pay one rate and I have unlimited data and I have unlimited everything. But if I switch to this, would I need to then change my deal with T? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
You got to look at the personal impact of whatever your service is and sign up for that, right?
Sure, if you're kind of canceling out something that you've been holding on to, like unlimited data, that would be something to consider. But I mean, we don't know much more, obviously, about this to know whether it's cost effective or not.
Yeah, I lost my grandfather deal a long time ago
with Verizon.
It might have been T-Mobile. I had T-Mobile with the hip top, like the Sidekick. And I think I had a pretty good deal from that, and then I switched at some point in time.
When I switched from Verizon to T-Mobile was when the G1 came out, and I got in at that great, unlimited data. Like they were just kind of giving it because they were trying to get people on board, and I just I'm holding on for dear life, But and T-Mobile's great. I like T-Mobile, but this, I mean, I want to see what the price impact would be on the hopping between the networks and then hopping to Wi-Fi, because when you're hopping on Wi-Fi, there's no cost there. You're on your own Wi-Fi network or a public use, presumably a public Wi-Fi network. So if this is cost saving for the end user, then might be worth.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, over in the fun corner at Google HQ, over in the VR department,
where they have all the bouncy castles.
Yeah, exactly, and the wacky stuff. Google unveiled, which I think is really interesting, and I actually thought about this a couple weeks ago, whether they do this or not, a new certification program that will slap a Works with Google Cardboard badge on any headset units created with cardboard in mind, given that they meet certification requirements. Certification will enable manufacturers to properly set their hardware profiles to the cardboard software, thanks to the Parameter SDK that will set things like focal length of the headset, available inputs, distance between the lenses, and things like that. So you can see a whole bunch of third-party folks making Google Cardboard compatible headsets, which are, let's be honest, probably more durable than a piece of cardboard that Google makes.
Yeah, I know. My cardboard's all like the double-sided tape has kind of lost its stickiness, so anytime I use it, it kind of folds away.
Yeah, and so this is actually like what seemed like a throwaway fun kind of, oh, by the way, check this out, is actually a viable VR platform that you can take your phone and turn it into a VR device.
I was shocked to see this. I mean, I had obviously not been paying attention, but I remember when they released it at Google I/O last year, and it was kind of it was like a fun, playful joke.
Oh, it was your parting gift.
Like it
was, by the way, pick up that sheet of cardboard on your way out. And,
and figure it out, right?
Yeah. Which kind of gives it a little bit of extra mystique, too, because it really seemed like, okay, what are they giving us paper for?
Right.
And the long-term deal has been kind of interesting to see it play out. And to see 2015 kind of be the year where people started to really view VR as an important element to the near future in terms of technology. Suddenly, it's a term we're seeing a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are trying to get into the space.
And so
Google
much
has a very inexpensive entrance into the space.
Exactly. And Google is so committed to it that they actually made a couple of acquisitions of related VR companies, a company called Thrive Audio, which will bring immersive audio to the cardboard experience, and a company that I had to make sure I read this right, Tilt Brush, which is a painting application for VR. So Google apparently it's not just a throwaway fun project. They're actually putting resources into it and building it. And immersive audio, it would be a great addition to have the cardboard.
Yeah.
You're really making a step closer. Cardboard seemed like the lo-fi option to the hi-fi Oculus, but I feel like that gap now is getting smaller.
Well, I wonder, this is their play for basically going the opposite of Google Glass, where we're going to launch with a product that we're not sure anybody wants, that's super expensive, and instead we're going to play with it, release some alphas, and work with partners. And then I bet it wouldn't surprise me seeing that they release a cheaper headset. It's in a couple $100s. But a couple
and expand on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they certainly have the team at Google working on this.
A couple weeks ago, I got to play with the Samsung Oculus device.
Yeah,
basically the dead
Gear
end
Live one,
device.
Yeah.
Right, the Gear Live.
And
Was it the Gear
The
Live?
no, it was the
Gear VR.
Gear
sorry.
VR. That's what it's called. Yeah.
And Aaron Koblin, who did the Radiohead video while he was at Google, I got to check out some of his new software with Chris Milk. So he was on the Google Chrome team and used to do all the Google Chrome web experiments. He's now moving into VR and has left Google.
Interesting.
That's pretty cool.
It wouldn't surprise me if he ends up back at Google.
Interesting stuff. I really want to check out the HTC VR. What was the HTC Vive?
Vive. That's the crazy one. Yeah,
I'm really interested in that. And we're also hearing a lot, just kind of a little tangent on VR, a lot about 4K screens coming to mobile, which just seems ridiculous to me. But everybody's kind of immediate reaction to that is, well, it's not if you're using VR on your phone, which absolutely, that actually makes perfect sense. You're blowing up those pixels, so if it's 4K display, it's actually going to look good when you blow them up.
Yeah. My whole thing.
You got to be all in on VR to be okay with taking that battery hit, though, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, my whole thing with VR still remains, and until I'm convinced otherwise, that VR right now feels to me like a solution without an audience or a solution without a demand. I haven't until I hear people going, wow, I really want to do that in VR. Or have you ever tried this? Yeah, sure. Yeah, and they've got to do the development. We've got to progress it. But kind of like 3D TVs.
Cool.
So Google acquired Tilt Brush.
Tilt Brush,
and this is VR painting. Painting in a virtual reality space, basically.
That's pretty awesome.
Cool. Really interesting.
That's really cool.
Very cool. Paint thick, three-dimensional brush strokes, smoke, stars, even light.
Very
cool. Good find, Bryan.
Well, I had to know what it was, and then when you guys were talking about applications, I was like, "This is what I would want to use it for."
Could you imagine? Yeah,
that's crazy. Wow.
Love it. Cool stuff.
The UI design on that was really interesting. How the drawing was there and all the kind of tools and everything were kind of I don't know.
Instead of just always just ever present
right
in
there,
a certain place or whatever.
Exactly.
Well, and they had to set planes.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do some real stuff with that.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see here. A couple of cool search developments, things that have popped up in the show throughout the last couple of months that have kind of finally come to fruition. First, if you use Google's mobile search, results can now show embedded install buttons for apps that match your query. This is part of Google's effort to index the content of apps for search, as we've talked about plenty of times. Google also shared that their app indexing project now has over 30 billion deep links from the apps that have implemented this feature. So, you're just in regular Google search on your phone, you do a search, one of the results is an app that matches your query. There's a single button to take you to the Play Store and install it. Cool stuff.
Now, related to this, but not related to the story, but am I the only person who's been having this problem where I will search a topic in Chrome and get the first link, which is the Wikipedia entry, and tap on the link, it opens the Wikipedia app, and I get no page found.
Oh,
everything.
I don't know.
And it makes me wonder if Wikipedia has set up the answer to the call correctly or not. Maybe Yeah.
I do not know the answer to that. I have not
look
encountered.
into that. If anyone else is having that, let me know. Say it in the chat room. But yeah, it's been literally like it's hampered my use. Like I got so
Do you have
used to that
Wikipedia
flow.
app installed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it should be recognizing it. And
Is it
passing
the
through
official
Yeah,
Wikipedia
here, look.
app,
Yeah,
or is
take-
it?
Here, look. We'll search. We'll do Android. You got my shot. There we go. Wait, let me change my display. I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail it, but I feel like it's on topic. There you go. So Android, Wikipedia. Okay. So there we go. First thing, Android operating. So it says Wikipedia app, right?
Uh-huh. Oh, I see. Okay.
I tap that. I open with Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Every
Oh.
time. Every time. Does not matter what I search
Wow.
for. That's what happens.
Huh. Oh, okay. Because I see. Because right now you're searching for the Android page on Wikipedia.
Oh, that one worked. There we go. So I don't know if it's maybe some broken links or whatnot, but
Interesting.
it's not. So
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting because it's a great idea, but it's apparently
But
not
it needs to
perfect.
work.
Yeah, exactly.
So
better.
with this feature, is Google actually linking into and showing content from deep within the app?
Yes.
That's
potentially
Yeah.
it is.
It's indexing the content in
They've
the
been
app.
indexing inside the app so that it's searchable, just like any other search content.
That's
on the
awesome.
web.
So do you think they have like banks of Android phones now, or I guess Android emulators running?
Oh, they've
That-
got to.
Yeah, that just is constantly running,
Yeah.
constantly querying.
That's a good question.
Are they setting
Like,
up
how are
virtual,
they actually
virtual-
doing that?
Virtual
Yeah, they
machines
must be-
running Android, running the apps,
Yeah,
scraping for like. How do you keep track of when there's new data?
yeah, they must just keep. I wonder if
Well,
they're brute
yeah, I
forcing
would
it,
say
or
just scanning the APK, but that doesn't give you the data that's
That's
fully
stored.
Exactly.
Stored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how deep that goes.
yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder if there's something in the SDK that allows them to emulate the query within the app and get the result sent
Yeah.
back and have it pass through the browser.
It would have to go. It would have to be in the index for them to serve it up that
Right.
fast, though.
Yeah.
Right. Also, another kind of neat feature: if you lose your phone, say you're certain it's at the house, or even not at the house, actually, whatever. Go to google.com in a browser, type "Find My Phone," and if you have opted in for Android Device Manager protection on your device, that will bring up the map with controls to rig your phone direct from any Google browser. Right. So, kind of cool.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Also,
That's awesome.
kind of dangerous too. But if you log in somewhere and then leave it, and that analog hole.
You know what I noticed though in playing around with it is that even when I was logged in, when I did that, it said you must sign in to authenticate.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so it required you to do that again.
That's good.
Even though I was already signed in. So that's a good way around that.
So over in the Cyanogen corner of the world, as we've all been following Cyanogen's mission to quote unquote put a bullet in Google's head,
As they say.
they announced a strategic partnership with Microsoft. And then after all these rumors of what their involvement would be, it's been revealed that the deal will bring Skype, Bing, OneDrive, OneNote, Outlook, and Microsoft Office to Cyanogen users. Now, if you're like me, at first thought, I'm like, great, Microsoft is making progressive things, and oh wait, is that they can be pre-installed? Are they bloatware? Is this more like Samsung? But actually, our buddy Russell Holly over at Android Central confirmed with Cyanogen that the apps will be fully removable. So even though they'll be pre-installed, you can actually take them out, and that the Cyanogen rep said that the apps would be surfaced contextually and always be downloadable. Near future is all we know about when this is going to happen, but it's important to note that these apps will not replace Google's apps. They are just additional installs on the Cyanogen OS. So
I haven't tried the new OneNote, but I mean, I worked at Microsoft back from 2000 to 2006, and when I left and got a Mac, that was the number one thing I missed was OneNote.
really,
Such a great app. Yeah.
I haven't really used.
Well,
I can't say I use many Microsoft apps to
that's
be
the
honest.
that's the thing. I mean, like today, somebody asked me. They said, "Oh, I need to open a Microsoft Word doc. What app should I download? OpenOffice or whatever?" And my response was like, "Well, just upload it to Google Docs. Like that'll work." And we've kind of relegated Microsoft to this aging giant IBM kind of status and ignored everything they've done. But this past year
Yeah,
and
they've
everything
done a
that's
lot
going
too.
on up there, has really got. I mean, every time I see a Microsoft article come through my feed, I stop and read it because I want to see what else is happening. And I'm really kind of curious by it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people saw this and thought, oh, Cyanogen, just
They're buying their way onto Android. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And it's kind of not the case.
But they're doing it the right way. That's the thing. I'm fine with having apps preloaded on a device or preloaded in an OS. Just let me get rid of them if I don't want them. Yeah, exactly. Don't be like Samsung in that manner.
It's true. You can only, yes. I mean, it occupies space. I've got the Galaxy S6, by the way, not the Edge. And I've been playing around with it.
A pristine Galaxy S.
Come on now. It's not quite pristine. Somehow that happened. That is indeed a scratch. That right there. And I feel awful about it. I'm not even sure how or when or what happened, but it's a nasty scratch. And I don't know if I can hold it against the phone because I don't know how it happened.
Right. That's the crazier thing.
Like, I've shown it to a couple of people here and they're like, oh, that better be in your review. And it's like, well, it'll be in my review as much as to say, like, I don't know how this happened, so I can't hold it against it.
So, Jason, as your partner,
maybe it was bad.
As your partner on the show, I'm concerned about the blackouts.
I think what you're alluding to is the fact that I drink too much coffee, Ron, and you are right. Anyways.
No, you put the phone down.
Yeah, well, yes. I returned to the phone after putting it somewhere I thought was safe during a birthday party at our house, and apparently it was not safe because it scratched.
Someone had Googled it, found out where it was.
Exactly. I know. I wish I knew, though, because I want to know whether it's actually the screen or not. I don't think it is, but I have to say, oh my God, the camera on this thing is unbelievable.
That's the big thing.
It is so great. I went to a concert last night. Dark Concert Hall.
Oh, you went to Faith No More?
Faith No More.
Oh,
it was
nice.
awesome.
Oh,
nice.
man.
And
awesome.
I took all these pictures kind of inside the hall with the lights dim and everything. And, my friend who was sitting next to me has the 6 Plus, the iPhone 6 Plus. We were taking the same pictures and like comparing them on the display, and shot for shot, it ended up looking better on that small screen. I fully realized like pictures look different on a screen versus a big desktop, but really impressed. And the fingerprint sensor is awesome as well. Cool. So anyways, I'm going to review that for Before You Buy, I believe this week. So check that out this Friday. Before we move on, let's see here. Let's do an email. Dave Brock wrote in and said, I just picked up a Nexus 6 the other day as my new phone. When I got into bed, I wanted to read some more and lowered my brightness on my Nexus 6 to the lowest setting in the drop-down settings. To my surprise, my phone tinted to a pink hue. This only happens when adaptive display is selected in settings, and there seems to be a debate about this on many forums as to whether this is a feature or a bug in the Nexus 6 since it's not in any custom ROMs. Would love to hear your thoughts. Our buddy Ron Amadio over at Ars Technica, actually in his review of the Nexus 6, devoted a section to the screen and this feature, and he calls it a feature specifically, and basically breaks down to this. It's an AMOLED screen. AMOLED screens, from what I understand, do this at extremely low levels. Some phones that have AMOLED screens, they stop the range of dimming before this pink level is reached. So you never actually see it because they don't want you to see that, right? Because that might freak you out, as it is to you, Dave. Motorola let it through. That's because they want it to, basically give it extra kind of lower range so that in the darkest of rooms, you can still go a little bit darker and not have it be super bright. So you end up getting the pink hue. And like you said, it only happens when adaptive brightness is on and you're in a completely pitch black room. Personally, I have an app that does this called Twilight that at nighttime, after like 10:30 or 11, it puts a pink hue on my screen, and it's supposed to improve your circadian rhythms so that you can get to sleep, blah, blah, blah. But I do it on purpose.
Have you been sleeping better since you
I don't know. Okay. But I do it because I fell for it. I don't know. I do it because a lot of people fall for it.
I use Flux on my Mac.
Yeah, same deal. Same deal. So I kind of personally, I see this as not a bad thing, but I could understand why you might freak out a little bit if you turn it all the way down and suddenly it goes a little pink.
I like the not knowing if it's a feature or a bug.
Yeah, I know. Is this a feature or a bug? I don't know the answer to that, the intention necessarily, but I don't consider it a bad thing. Let's just put it that way. So, hey, let's thank a sponsor of today's episode. First sponsor of today's episode is Smart Things. We talk about Smart Things all the time on the Twit Network and on this show. Smart Things is all about home automation. Most companies use proprietary systems, not Smart Things. Smart Things changes that. Smart Things Hub, which is what you're seeing here, this controls lights, locks, security, everything through a simple Android, iOS, or Windows Phone app. And because it's an open platform, SmartThings works just as well with its own sensors as it does with connected devices. Ones you've heard of, Dropcam, Schlage locks, Honeywell thermostats, and many more. SmartThings is so awesome that it won the CES 2015 Editor's Choice Award. And I mean, there are just a million things that you can do, a million different combinations with all of these modules that Ron's showing off here. Just one way that you can use SmartThings: lights. You can monitor and control your lights, your electronics, your small appliances. You can turn your lights on or off from your phone while you're in bed. Or, you're on the beach and you're like, oh, I left that light on at home. You can do it right from there. Set your lamps or your lights to brighten every morning at sunrise or when you want to wake up. You can save energy by triggering your lights and your appliances to turn off when you leave. Just a ton of combinations. And you can kind of, your imagination is limitless here. You can get instant alerts if there's unexpected movement or entry in your home. You can set a camera to take a series of photos when there's unwanted motion. It's a great security tool in this regard. You can set it up to be a security tool. Get immediate alert on your smartphone if water's detected where it doesn't belong, so you can kind of save yourself repair dollars in your home. Just a ton of ways that you can use these modules, and you can kind of use your imagination, come up with something unique with no required monthly fees. And kits are starting at only $189. SmartThings is an affordable way to create your smart home. And just for our TWiT audience, SmartThings is offering you a chance to save even more. Get 10% off any home security or solution kit and get free shipping in the U.S. Just go to smartthings.com/twit. Use the offer code TWIT. That's smartthings.com/twit. Use the offer code TWIT. That'll get you 10% off any of those kits and free shipping in the U.S. We thank SmartThings for their support of All About Android and the TWiT network. Cool stuff. All right, and that's some cool hardware. We've got more hardware in hardware. That's why we called it hardware.
Wait, are we going to talk about hardware?
Yeah, a little bit of hardware.
Okay, a little bit of hardware.
That's hard.
Let's talk about that hardware. The hardware.
But not hard.
We're gonna get that. We're gonna get to that later.
Where?
The hardware. Okay. This is hardware. Speaking of Samsung, Samsung has announced a new tablet in the Galaxy Tab line. The Galaxy Tab A is available for pre-order on May 1st, and it's got a 1.2 gigahertz quad-core processor, 5-megapixel rear-facing camera, a 2-megapixel you got two rear-facing cameras back there?
No, 2-megapixel front-facing.
Yeah, two front-facing. A little typo there. 2-megapixel front-facing camera.
One letter off.
16 and 32 gig storage options, 1.5 gig of RAM. It's got a 1024 by 768 display. You can get an 8-inch model for $229 or the 9.7-inch model for $299. Or you can get the 9.7-inch model with the S Pen for just $349, and it releases on May 17th. So if you're in the tablet
version
market,
of it with the S Pen, wouldn't that normally have been the Note tablet? Isn't that what differentiated their Note line?
Well, why should the S Pen be limited to just the Note?
I don't know. I just kind of thought the S Pen was always tied to their Note line, but I guess I could be wrong. Or maybe this is Samsung's done a lot of different things this year, so maybe this is a change.
Try new things.
Low-cost tablets, my goodness.
Yeah.
$229 for the entry.
Now's the time. The Tab A, which can only have us be looking forward to a line of 25 iterations. Tab B, Tab C, Tab D, Tab I don't know what makes this the Tab A. Like why? But anyway.
Who knows? So. I'll never understand why or how they come up with names for these things, including why Huawei calls it the P8.
Because codenames stick.
They do,
stick.
Unless they really suck. Some code names, like I don't know, some companies are really bad at the code names. And P8, I guess it's not too difficult to remember.
I spent a good couple of minutes trying to figure out if that's like Pate or like
Pate.
If it's some sort of there's some sort of it I couldn't figure
Huawei
out.
Pate.
Huawei Pate.
Kind of like the Mate.
Yeah.
So I guess that it very well could be the Pate.
Maybe.
The Pate.
Yeah, maybe something in Chinese.
The Huawei Pate.
I don't know.
Let's see here. So this is
Thank you, Bryan.
Thanks. This is supposedly Huawei's big flagship phone. For 2015. It's a metal body, 5.2-inch, 1080p display, LCD, octa-core 64-bit Cortex A53s. There's 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage, micro SD card slot, which is nice, 32-megapixel rear-facing camera, 8-megapixel front-facing camera, 2,600 milliamp hour battery, lollipop, and a partridge in a pear tree, or something. So there you go. Huawei's, got some interesting devices coming out. I just kind of feel like they get lost in the U.S. market, but
It's because I can't say it. Huawei.
you can say Huawei.
Huawei.
I mean,
You just can't sound it out.
Yeah, exactly. Huawei. Yeah.
Huawei.
Xiaomi.
You've had plenty of experience
Yeah, with the
pronouncing
Huawei.
Huawei at this point.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Would you get a Huawei?
Yes.
Would you?
Do you know the
man,
Huawei
this
to
is
San Jose? We just fall for it every time.
We don't mean to.
We
It just
see
happens.
the hole in front of us and we fall in every time. Let's move on.
We wouldn't.
So we've reset the clock on OnePlus as to when the last time they had a marketing disaster, and luckily we've got some good news about OnePlus. OnePlus is now invite-less. You don't need an invite forever. You can order a OnePlus One whenever you want, as they're completely open now to ordering. It's been about a year. This has marked the year anniversary of the OnePlus, I believe.
I think, it's about, yep.
So whether it's planned or on schedule or sooner than they plan to, whatever, but you don't need an invite anymore to get one. So that's pretty good. But then secondly, they're growing. They've got plans to increase their employees to 1,500 employees in 2015. And because of that, they are seeking VC funding in Silicon Valley. CEO told Bloomberg that that the OnePlus successor is expected in the third quarter with a lower cost model planned for the end of the year release. And of course, the invitation system will be used for that follow up. So they're going to keep rolling things out with the invitation system. But here we see their model is that, a slow kind of release and then get to the point where it can go mass. So whether or not they're able to raise money here in the Valley or not will remain to be seen. So
at some point, are they just doing the invite system because it's kind of forces this scarcity / excitement? I feel like
Gmail model.
Yeah. But considering you're coming from a hardware incubator, like when you're creating hardware, you're actually creating things, and that's it. And that manufacturing piece is a huge investment and that sort of thing.
It takes time.
And so, I think on one hand, it's a scarcity Gmail model I want in, but on the other hand, is it a way to maintain inventory and control inventory?
Well, but Gmail was also about scaling up the servers.
True.
Like they needed to learn. And actually, my guess on the NVO that MNVO that Google might be launching tomorrow, I bet it's about scaling the customer support. Yeah. Because they know they're going to have onboarding issues and want to bring people on, and so they probably for OnePlus, they could just be putting them out there, seeing what errors they have, so it's not like a complete disaster for them. These are all different factors.
Right. Well, they're allowing the disasters to happen on the marketing side.
Yes,
that's all. Yeah.
Well, there's that too.
They're clearing the path.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I kind of, I guess, suppose we don't really know the actual answer to this, but with the first device, they really made it seem like the invitation system was really about the fact that they couldn't produce as much as demand required.
Yeah.
If they're scaling up their operation in the way that they are with VC funding and everything, doesn't that kind of change the scale a little bit? And then it seems like the invite
chances
system is
are
less about we have to do it and more about, well, I don't know, it worked the first time, let's do it again.
I mean, whenever you're launching a new product, you have to scale up.
Yeah.
And so when you have inventory sitting there, that's money sitting there. And so their working capital, they want to start to get that moving.
Yeah.
And I mean, those employees, those 1,500 people, aren't the ones making the phones. Most likely, those are being done by contract manufacturers in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Great point. Cool. Well, I still consider the OnePlus One a pretty awesome device, even a year later. And that's a lot to say for a piece of hardware. To say that 1 year after it was first announced and unveiled, it's still something that you should consider when purchasing a device. Now that it has Lollipop, especially that it's getting Lollipop. Well,
I just think the accomplishment of creating a hardware-based startup to create phones in this marketplace where you're competing with Apple, you're competing with Samsung, to survive a year and still be alive and actually growing and thriving, I think is a huge accomplishment. I would never have guessed that this could have happened.
But Xiaomi, it also happened with Xiaomi.
Yeah.
And I don't think Samsung has that good of a hold. I don't feel. My take on it is I don't think Samsung has a true customer loyalty.
Yep.
And I think and a company could easily come in and out-design them, and I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah. Well, and what has that done? That's changed in some ways how Samsung develops their own devices.
Yep.
Right. And in a lot of ways, the Galaxy S6 answered a lot of criticism that people have had and reasons that they believe Samsung is stagnated in the space. And that's because of, I mean, I have right here the Xiaomi Mi 4. And it's funny, side by side, they look very similar, don't they?
Yeah.
But I mean, when the Mi 4, when I reviewed the Mi 4, 6-7 months ago, I mean, that was the thing. It's like, yes, is this, in knockoff territory, or does it share a lot with other devices? Sure. But the design, like the attention to detail and the design quality is really impressive. And actually, it really seems like Samsung's kind of gone the same direction. So they are being pushed up by their competitors into new directions. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
well, and Xiaomi's whole play of, like, we're going to take your expensive gadget and make it cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's going to all fit in with our software is potentially really powerful. Yeah. I mean, I see, when I'm over in Shenzhen, and I'm there like twice a year, I see Xiaomi products all over the place. Like both in the regular malls, next to outlet stores and Louis Vuitton and Uniqlo, and then also like in Washanbei, like in the electronics markets.
Interesting.
Some of those
cool.
and some of those are counterfeit.
Okay, hey,
ones
we're
in-
there
in
right now.
Washanbei.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well,
yes.
Oh,
let's
going to
All
hardware?
right.
let's do it. Let's go to hardware. And we'll talk a little bit more about this.
Oh,
genius, right?
See
It's
what we
really-
did there?
It might be the greatest thing we've ever done.
Jeff.
I know, but we haven't even
Greatest
done it.
thing
Everything Jeff's ever done.
Jeff's ever
So,
done.
Good job, Jeff.
Of course, we've never seen any of his other stuff other than the stuff he does for this show, but
I
I'm
hear
sure
he's
it's
great.
all
I hear
great.
he's great.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so let's start there, actually.
Okay.
So you have some cool stuff to
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
And it
I-
ties in with what you were just talking about.
I came back from Shenzhen recently, and I got a couple of things. First off is this wonderful phone. So it's a bunny phone, and right there that's a speaker, and that's a camera.
No way.
Yeah, it's out of batteries right now, and I don't have a SIM for it, but it's like a full MP3 player.
Wow.
The ears light up. It's pretty fantastic.
And people actually use it to make calls.
I can't attest to that, but I assume. So that's item number one.
How much is something like that, right?
This was about $10.
$10.
$10.
$10.
Wow.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Then
See, we're
And-
just looking for innovation in the
Yeah.
phone space. How many black slabs have we seen?
Right,
We've
it's- Yeah.
never seen a bunny phone.
It's time for the bunny
phones.
I think the bunny phone
anywhere
time
else.
has arrived. I think that's what
Yes.
we're
There we
finding out
go.
here. There we go.
This shows the maturation of the.
The thing is, you know that would sell like crazy here. That would, I mean, the teens
I'm
and
sure
all
that I
sort of
know
stuff.
that.
Yeah, I don't know
think so.
that.
I think it would.
I'm not sure.
The number of people I see with bunny-shaped
because
phone-
because you know what would sell like crazy?
What?
A tiny phone. And so, can you zoom in on my ear? Is that possible? Because this is a phone, like it'll take a SIM card, but there's no reason to actually, have another phone. You can just stick the phone in your ear. It's very convenient and highly trendy. It came in white, gold, or red.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. This is my daily phone. It's what I use.
I'm
Your
sure,
daily
I'm
driver?
sure.
Yeah, there you
Just,
go.
Do you use this
hey,
on
Mom?
your television show when you're talking?
No, I have not. I have not. It's a kind of different audience.
I mean, that's an argument to go back to T9 texting. I mean, there you go.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like Morse code.
The more you use it, the better you get at dialing.
That's
with it.
crazy.
So this is also about $12. Like
Wow.
$10, $12.
And I mean,
I
it takes
forget
a
the
SIM
exact-
card and
takes a
you
SIM
can-
card. It's also Bluetooth, so you can use it as a headset. Yeah. As you can see, right there.
Oh, I don't know if maybe
you
it's
can
not.
you can use it
there
as
we
a
go.
headset or as a phone, for real. Like it is
You
crazy.
know what it looks like? It looks like
So in comparison,
in like 2000.
it's like a phone for the bunny kind of thing.
really- yes.
Like, there we go. Like the bunny.
How?
It reminds me of like in 2005 when like Saturday Night Live would make fun of like
Yes.
how small phones are getting.
Yes.
And they'd be like, oh yeah, well I've got a phone that's also,
right.
like that's what
So then I've got a third phone. This one
Yeah, that
is
one.
on my wrist.
Oh,
And
you
as you
got
can
the Apple
see,
Watch.
you got the Apple Watch.
It is
okay.
a Schmapple watch, and so it's running Android. Actually, you can write
Yeah, you're at
APKs
the
for
top
it,
of the display. Move it
Oh,
down
sorry.
a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
and there we
you
go. So, but I love it because they mimicked it so that it looks like the Apple.
So this is running Android.
This is running Android, but they put this one screen on it so that it kind of looks, and then picked the same exact watch face. This was $45.
I can tell. I can see why
clearly,
it's more expensive. This is
also
top shelf
running-
stuff here.
Wait a minute. So then, let's see. So that's the camera.
So there's a camera in the band. That's the little hole
So you can see
up
the
at the
little
very
hole
top.
right there. Let me see. Can we take a photo? There we go.
Oh, I'm sure it looks really good too.
Yeah.
And then here, okay, Jason, smile. And I got you too, Ron. There we go.
Hey, oh,
That's
crystal clear.
That's a keeper.
That's
This is I'm gonna hang this up when I get home.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
oh man. We need to do side by side pixel to pixel comparisons of the Galaxy S6 and the camera.
And the
But I mean,
camera on the
clearly
Apple Watch.
mimicking the Apple Watch. I mean, it's the same kind of blue. They even went with this kind of design. They a fake digital crown with this button.
which is really just a button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
boy.
fascinating.
One of my team members or one of the companies actually he wears it all the time. I mostly bought
way.
it for stuff like this.
Oh, it's so cool. So, and does it sync with your Android device?
I have not tried. I don't really want this touching any of my devices.
You don't want that to call home?
Yeah, I don't know what this is gonna do. I'm mostly comfortable wearing it on my wrist for a little while.
Until your wrist turns green, but
Yeah. I mostly
Your
kind
hand
of
falls off.
note. I have another watch that I wear way more often.
Yeah, and this watch is actually really cool. Well, they're all very cool. This is cool in a different way,
So-
in actually a practical way.
This is the Bradley, and it's a watch for the blind. And so it's got a ball bearing that's captured, and it's got magnets underneath that kind of.
So how do you read? How exactly do you read this
Well,
watch?
so this is the minute hand up top, and then the hour hand is around the bottom. And then you
okay.
can feel it
Yeah.
or look. Obviously.
Right. Oh, that is so cool.
So as you
I
said,
kind
it's a
of
great
love
way to
it.
check the time during a meeting without the telltale
Yeah.
checking your watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or during a movie,
Yeah.
like I used
That
that
is-
the other
Yeah,
day.
you can just kind of
Actually.
tactile feel it. Yeah. That's very
Wow,
cool.
no kidding. No
Yeah.
kidding.
Now you're worried
Cool
about
stuff.
latency with the magnets, or are they timed exactly?
It's a mostly good watch.
Yeah.
It's not perfect.
Fantastic stuff. Thanks for showing that.
Oh,
off.
you're welcome. Yeah.
Cool.
That's great. So this little collection right here probably costs you a total of like $50, basically.
60
or
60
60, yeah,
60
$60.
bucks.
Jeez.
Yeah. 3 phones.
Yeah.
Just to
It's
be.
pretty awesome.
It's unbelievable.
Get a SIM card for each, and
That bunny
You'll
phone,
never buy
man. I
another
think you got to switch to that one for your daily.
It's it's really sell. Like that's really what you
wanna
want
go-
to do with the bunny phone.
You want to go on your TV show making deals with startups? Well, oh, hang on a second, I got a call, and the ears start lighting up. And it's
yes, love it. In other wearable news, Android Wear is actually getting a pretty huge update. Let's see here, a top level app list.
Finally.
Which basically, and there should be pictures for all of these if you scroll down a little bit, not the top one, because I'm going to get to, no, that's it, yeah. So this is the top level app list. So basically, right now, if you tap the face of your Android Wear, it goes into search. Now it'll give you access to your apps. So it's a pretty big change right there.
And
right?
get rid of the launcher installed. You know, I mean, that was the thing. Before, to get to the apps natively, you had to tap it,
Oh,
dig,
yeah.
you know,
It's
go down
pretty
one.
ridiculous right now.
Yeah, so I feel bad for all the developers who created Android Wear launchers, but
know,
oh well.
I
So,
know.
yeah, so that's a big one.
But that's just the way it goes, I suppose. A new draw emoji feature, which
is
I'm
pretty
pretty
cool.
sure I'll
Awesome.
probably never use. But
Oh, don't say never.
I
Don't say
draw-
never.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe I'd use it with a smiley face.
Thumbs up, Jason.
Can you draw the poo? That's
That's like
is it, I guess it would
professional
just be
level
triangle.
emoji drawing.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, right. With a couple of steamy lines. A twist of the arm advances card notifications on your watch.
Which is cool.
I suppose that's good if your other hand is tied up.
Okay. Wouldn't
Doing
work for
something
people with
else.
Next picture.
Not actually tied to something.
I let it hang. I just wanted it to stay there.
I heard
and,
the snicker. I don't know what I was thinking. Apps can be pinned to be always on, so that's cool. Like if you want to pin your timer or you want to pin the map, whatever, or the to-do list. That's a good idea.
Awesome.
And then finally, and this is a big one, Wi-Fi support. So phone and watch. So basically, your watch can sync with your phone via Wi-Fi. They don't have to be on the same wireless access point. So it can be done through the cloud as long as your watch can connect to Wi-Fi and the cloud.
That could demolish batteries, though.
I'm wondering with the effect that's going to have.
Well, I'll tell you, the first effect right out of it is welcome to obsolescence town.
Yep. Yours is one of the few Android Wear watches that we know of at this point.
The LG G Watch
that will not support this.
does not support Wi-Fi support.
Yeah.
And so I've been meticulously hitting system update because I want everything that came with it. And then I came across this article that said that there's no LG Wi-Fi for LG G Watch. It is available for the G Watcher, the Guatcher, and the other one, which I can't remember.
The Urbane.
The Urbane, yeah, but just not on the G Watch itself. So it looks like I'm going to be in the market for a new watch. Maybe it's time for that.
The Moto 360 just dropped in price, so you can get it for a song.
Yeah. So we'll see. But is there a new Moto 360 coming? That's always, now we're into that world.
Would it be a 720 or a 361? Or a 360 Tab A?
360 Plus, yes. Who knows? All right. Hey, let's take a minute and thank our second sponsor of today's episode. That's lynda.com. Lynda is for problem solvers, for the curious, for people who want to make things happen. Lynda's fantastic. I've watched so many Lynda videos, both just for my own enjoyment and for here at work, for learning new systems and new software that we're using here at work. And if you're an Android developer, it's perfect for you. Maybe you want to create an app. You want to, build a website, a responsive website, master Excel, sharpen your coding skills. Lynda.com has everything you need to feed your curious mind. If you're ready to start taking better photos, you can check out lynda.com's Foundations of Photography and Photography 101 series. There are tutorials covering composition, exposure, all the basics. They also have more advanced tutorials on shooting portraits, landscapes, street photography, travel, time-lapse shots. There's something for everyone. There are also excellent courses on Photoshop, photo retouching, color correction, and more to improve your skills. And yeah, like I said, I've checked out some of these photo walkthroughs for Photoshop. I've played around with, learned Adobe Premiere when we were switching from Final Cut to Adobe, and just a ton of music production tutorials. And I can just watch those even if I'm not like trying to learn something specifically. It's like just good to have on the background for me as far as I'm concerned. With the lynda.com membership, you can watch and learn from top experts. These are people that know what they're doing. They're passionate about teaching, and it's all recorded super professionally. So it's not just kind of, like a random video on YouTube. They really go all out and make the production value top notch. Stream thousands of video courses on demand. You can learn at your own schedule. Courses are actually structured so you can watch them from start to finish, or you can choose to, kind of bits and pieces here and there, bite-sized pieces. Browse each course transcript to follow along or search for an answer and skip to that point. You can take notes as you go. You can refer to those later. The tutorials, you can download those and you can watch them on the go, including access on Android, iOS devices as well. And playlists. You can create and save playlists of courses that you want to watch and customize your learning path and share that with friends and team members. Your lynda.com membership gives you unlimited access to training on hundreds of topics, all for one flat rate. Whether you're looking to become an expert, you're passionate about a hobby, or you just want to learn something new, I want you to visit lynda.com/allaboutandroid. Sign up for your free 10-day trial, and you can, it's all you can eat, 10 days. Watch all the videos that you can. Don't try and eat them. They might not taste very good, but if you watch them, I'm sure you'll learn something. That's lynda.com/allaboutandroid. And we thank Lynda for their continued support of this show and the network. Thank you, Lynda. All right. What do you say we check out some new apps? Let's see if I can activate this one.
Did you install it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't activate it, though,
It's interesting. It's really cool. Currently now in the Google Play Store, if you've been dying to access and input information into your phone via handwriting, now Google lets you do that. The Google Handwriting Input app is available in the Play Store for download, and it's got support for handwriting in 82 languages. I wonder if amongst those 82 languages, one of those is my awful handwriting. I use these devices so I don't have to write, but for some people, they like to write, and so Jason's got it here. And basically, as opposed to there being a keyboard, you see there's an area where you can write, and you can say, welcome.
Yeah. Welcome to all about. And is it doing it? Oh, yeah, it is.
So who needs an S Pen when you have this?
I know. When you've got your
when you've got your
little finger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So it's pretty neat. I'm sure there's some aspect of there of learning as you write more.
That
there you go.
was registered.
Yeah,
I thought for sure you could do emoji here too.
I think it's circle eyes.
Oh.
Because that was the draw the emoji and the, there we go. Or not. Yeah.
It's not working.
The important thing whenever you're talking about any sort of input app is how do you do the emojis? Because that's what
Were you trying to do the poo?
I was trying to do the poo. I don't know how to. No, it's just not working for me. I have to hit the emoji button. Says Bleak.
Where's the emoji button? Down there.
This is important stuff.
Nope.
Oh, so that's
lets you go back.
That's my cloud. This is. What do you mean emoji button? I don't see an emoji button.
Yeah.
Maybe there is an emoji in Keep. Maybe that's the difference.
Yeah. I got an email with emoji in the subject line the other day for a PR flag, and I that's not good.
I'm a PR flag.
Yeah. It was like the little trumpet. It was a little trumpet icon, and I was like, delete. Anyway,
let's see here. Maybe I can do it in.
Oh wow. Here we go.
Maybe I can do it in. No, there is no.
Oh, there
emoji.
it is. Good job.
Here. Remove it for a second.
All right now.
Here, let me try and do that. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Wow.
I like the sound effect, Brian, that comes along with it too.
Everybody's saying hit the emoji button. Do you see an emoji button?
There's no emoji button.
I don't see an emoji button. Yeah, I don't see it. So I don't know what to tell you. But supposedly, I know I got to it before. I don't know why I'm not seeing it now. I'm sure we'll get emails. Hit enter, says someone. Nope, that doesn't work. Anyways, you can draw emoji. Guaranteed you can, because I've seen it. Guaranteed.
All right, that's a claim.
I mean, I've done it. I don't know why it's not working now, but whatever. We'll get emails.
Were you at summer camp in Canada?
We talked a little bit last week, I think it was, about this. It's now official. Chrome for Android was updated last Wednesday to enable push notifications from sites that support the feature. Sites currently include eBay, Facebook, Pinterest, Vice News, Product Hunt. These notifications happen even when Chrome isn't active on the device. So what happens is you visit the site, and then it'll give you kind of a notice and say, hey, we can send notifications to your phone through Chrome. Do you want this? And you have to turn it on.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, there you go. And then later, if you decide you don't want it anymore, you have to manage those through the Chrome settings, not your notifications settings or your settings inside Android UI.
Do you see the trend here between this and Google indexing apps is trying to keep the browser central?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of that.
Keeping you out of apps.
There's absolutely a lot of that going on right now. There's this like blurring of the lines between their browser efforts and Android efforts, and suddenly apps and, like standalone apps and apps running on Chrome are going to be kind of indistinguishable to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And I wonder what future that leads to. I don't know. Does that mean no more apps?
Well, but
because notifications is one of those things that we're like, yeah, but if you're running it, if it's an app running in the browser, you don't get notification. Now you do.
And also, if you look at material design works both on the web or within the native apps. And how many native apps are moving to the direction of just being a web view in a thing that you download? I think that the future will be no apps. I mean, that's. Which kind of goes back to Steve Jobs' original vision for the iPhone. Yeah, which
is ahead of his time.
Yeah. So
I don't know. That's pretty cool, though. That's pretty powerful. Notifications through Chrome, even when it's not running. Kind of crazy.
They're doing wacky stuff with Chrome. I love it.
Yep.
It's awesome. Speaking of wacky stuff and getting excited, we've been talking a lot about Android Auto. I feel like you're pretty excited for it, Jason. Well, Waze now is getting integrated with Android Auto, and it's really going to impact how you drive and to the whole driving experience. Waze's head of growth, Diane Eisner, said, for example, we'll know what your fuel level is, and then we'll be able to tell you where to get the cheapest gas based on how much gas you have left.
Oh, I want that.
We'll let you know when the windshield wipers are on, so we can get an understanding of if there's a weather change, because road weather is a very important safety factor. Such features like that are a few years out at this point, and it likely only applies to Android Auto that's embedded by manufacturers and not into aftermarket units. But it just gives an idea of what the integration of a crowd-based data collection of Waze in terms of directions and driving information tied with Android Auto, tying with what they know with the car with the sensors in your car. The future, it could be unlimited. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. That's exactly what I want out of my navigation. And what I'm always like, that particular use case too. It's like, how many times have I been driving and I know that there should be an easy way for me to just go, show me the next gas station because I'm about to run out of gas. But for some reason that ends up being hard. With like Google Maps or whatever. Like, I just want to be able to like, show me the nearest gas station quick and have it tell me. And this is saying, analyze your fuel level and
tell you when you
tell you the
and
cheapest based on the amount of time you have left. That's crazy smarts. I love that.
I'm already amazed by cars alone. I mean, whenever I get into a car now, and when I get into a zip car or something like that, I immediately change to the how many miles till empty setting on the dashboard, which I think is amazing as someone who hasn't owned a car for a while, to be able to know, okay, in 20 miles I'm going to run out of gas, but factor in where do you find the cheapest gas and get directions to it. I mean, it's that integration. I think that will be that'll make it really amazing. So you figured it out.
Well, Bleak actually figured it out. Let me tell you, it's totally obvious. Supposedly what you have to do is you have to long press the enter. And then it turns into emoji mode. That was
all
right.
Draw the poop. So draw the poop.
Thanks for making that easy.
Draw the poo.
So... Oh, no, it's birthday cake. Birthday cake.
Oh, no.
My poop apparently looks like...
Just draw a triangle.
Yeah.
Oh, is it just triangle? Oh, no, that's a triangle.
You see, this is going to be more maddening than just typing.
Yeah, so now I want to know I want a reminder of what it looks like. So...
You just can't just write poo.
How do I pull it up
there we go.
though?
That's what it looks like. All right.
Okay. Oh, I see. So it's kind of curled around.
It looks like chocolate soft serve. Oh we're so mature.
Cloud.
Oh, you gotta close it.
Oh,
I got a cloud.
Oh, you got a cloud.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
I just
put the stink lines.
Cloud. Dang it! This is a new game.
What about the eyes? Could you put the eyes in?
Oh. I don't even know what I'm getting anymore. What is that one? This is someone getting a face rub.
What?
It's like someone getting a massage. Oh, emojis confuse me.
Try the triangle with eyes and a mouth. I like how the emojis evolve based on what you draw.
Pizza.
A smile.
Oh, come on. That looks just like...
Oh, man.
Come on,
that's the closest we've gotten yet.
Why is Google holding us down?
Dang it, Sergey. Again.
I really...
You really want to draw some poop.
Maple leaf. Come on, it's not a sailboat. Oh, man. Okay, all right. All right, well, we're not getting there, folks.
That was a valiant effort. I'm really impressed.
If you can draw the poop emoji in the Google handwriting app, take a video, post it to YouTube, send it to us. Let's see you do better. Okay, that's the All About Android challenge.
And if you do,
I
will reward you the bunny phone. I have to see a real video. I will I will leave this with Jason.
Wow.
This is Jason.
Oh, man. I might just have to draw the poo
in
myself.
Bunny escrow.
Bunny phone escrow.
All right.
All right.
Jason,
All right, cool.
Witness.
Okay. And I don't know how we validate. Do you have to record a video of yourself
record a
drawing
video
the
of
poo?
you drawing it, yes.
And the best
And then you have to be
video
able to-
wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm down for
There
that.
we go. All right.
Although I might have a hard time giving this out because this is a really cool phone.
Send a photo of it.
Oh, boy.
It's amazing. I like that there's a bunny button in the center.
Very important. It's very, very. It's for calling your bunny friends.
What do you want to call your master,
Yeah, see
the
bunny.
master bunny?
Right.
Yeah.
Right in the center right there is the bunny button.
Okay. See, Bleak. Bleak was claiming, oh, no, see, Bleak, that doesn't work. That's a thumbs up. Yeah.
Give me bunny phone.
Yep.
Show title, It's Not a Sailboat. Okay, hey, let's reel ourselves back.
Yeah, sorry.
I really wanted to figure that out, though. Michael Robichaud from Montreal wrote in to AAA at twit.tv and says, hello. Even though the web was going crazy saying not to update to Lollipop, I did anyway. Sad trombone. My Nexus 5 is now prime target to get stolen.
What?
Has anyone on your show tried to locate, that's ring, lock, or erase, any of your Lollipop phones or tablets? Since version 5.x.x, that's all versions, it seems no one can use the Android Device Manager app or web to find lost or stolen phones. It says the number of users complaining in the Google forums is growing, but in my view, not fast enough. Of all the users I personally know with a Lollipop device, not one can use the function with any phone or tablet. Google is mute and offers nothing to solve this. Did you check your devices? I did check my devices. My Nexus 9, which is running Lollipop, does appear. My Nexus 7, which is running Lollipop, does appear. My Nexus 6 and my Nexus 5 do not.
Wow. I have not tried
Which
it.
I was kind of, yeah.
I have not tried it with my Nexus 5, and now I'm going to try it. I haven't had to.
Oh, well, yeah, I was going to say, open up a Google search and say, find my phone. And, but I haven't tried that on a tablet. But
Let's try it on a tablet. Well, I don't know.
we'll
You're
see.
doing an ad.
So, anyways, it sounds like this is happening to some. Some of mine appear, like I said, and my Nexus 6 does not, which I'm kind of bummed about. So, yeah, apparently this is something that needs to be investigated, I suppose. I did include in the show notes a Google product forum thread. Has a bunch of people complaining of this issue. I'm not sure if it was the one that Michael was referring to, but it was one that I found. So, did that work for you? Find my phone. Oh, no.
Nope.
It didn't even pull
Didn't
up
even
the
pull it up.
search
Yeah.
thing.
I don't know if I registered a device manager with the new phone, to be honest with you.
That could be.
So that could be it too. But I'm
But
going
I
to
was
try
thinking
it.
that
now.
you didn't. I thought that was just kind of baked in, anyways. But
Yeah.
then when I read this, I was like, oh, maybe you do need to be registered with Android Device Manager. So I did it, and it still didn't fix the problem on my 5. So,
See if I know.
anyways, I don't know the answer, but sometimes it's good to talk about these things to make us feel better. So there you go. And maybe this will mean someone
That's why we're
will
here.
look into it a little bit more. Before we get into the arena, let's thank our finer sponsor of today's episode. That'll be LegalZoom.com. 5 things you can count on when using LegalZoom for your business. Number 1, reliability. More than 1 million people have already trusted LegalZoom to help start their business. If you're looking to incorporate, form an LLC, a nonprofit, get a DBA, and more, LegalZoom can help you get started the right way. Number 2, experience. They've been helping business owners with legal challenges for more than a decade. You can count on LegalZoom for all the details. Number 3, helpful support. They have the right people on hand to answer your questions, all based in the United States. Number 4, legal advice. Since they're not a law firm, LegalZoom built a network of independent attorneys available in most states. They can give advice on the best way to get started, plus provide contract review and other useful services to help run your business. And finally, number 5, no surprises, LegalZoom provides complete transparency with upfront pricing and customer reviews, and they have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. I will go ahead and add number 6. It has nothing to do with business, it's more personal, but I've been using LegalZoom for about 5 years now, and I love it for my own will and testament for our family. So it came in really handy. It was a super easy process, and yeah, I mean, I was a fan before I even worked at Twit, so there you go. Make the smart choice for your business. Or your personal affairs at LegalZoom.com today. Don't forget to enter AAA at checkout to save even more. That's LegalZoom.com. Use the promo code AAA when you check out. And we thank LegalZoom for their support of All About Android and the Twit Network. All right. With that, let's jump into the arena.
All right.
Whoa. Whoa, Andy Rubin.
Is Andy?
It's okay, Andy. You'll get your turn.
Andy's really excited.
When do I get to join in, guys?
You're not even with Google anymore, Andrew. Go away, okay?
Go home. You don't work here.
Oh, I didn't know there was going to be a fight. It's cool, Sundar. Stand down. Stand down, Sundar.
The real battle.
Wow.
Or was
I guess you guys don't go to Google I/O anymore, do you?
Will you be at Google I/O?
Yeah, I'll be doing it.
Oh, right on. Excellent.
I've been doing Ignite at I/O for the last 5 or 6 years.
Awesome. Do you need a
Radical.
hand? Do you need any help?
We can chat
No,
out.
I know. I'm just kidding. One of the ongoing
He's
joke
only
is
sort
that
of kidding.
I never make the cut. I never.
Oh.
I went once 2-3 years ago.
It was
and-
glorious.
Yeah, it was glorious. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then now I'm outside. I'm on 4th Street up against the glass, just looking into that.
One of these days.
Quick note: I just
Yeah.
did find my device and I installed it
showed
on
up.
my tablet, and my Nexus 5 showed up on it. So your mileage may vary. So there
Yeah,
you go.
well, and obviously it does. Yeah.
So
Find my phone. Now I'm curious. Let's see here. I have to do the sign-in thing. We're stretching this out, but I want to see. That's not mine. Yeah, so my Nexus 6 is not here. My Nexus 5 is not
that's
here.
weird that it works for me but not for you.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
weird. Very strange. I don't understand why.
Well, I'm sure they're looking into it. I can't imagine it's something that they're taking lightly. So
They are now.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So last week, we had a face-off. It was episode 209. And let's take a look here.
It was tight. It was tight all week. I was watching.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But Fuse was the big winner with 42% of the votes. Y-Man
Split
or
well.
Wee-Man?
Wee-Man.
Y-Man.
Y-Man.
Free Wi-Fi, 30% at second place. And then mine, yeah, we were kind of neck and neck for second, but you were always a little bit ahead.
Do
It was
button
28%.
surged though in the past 24 hours. I mean, you were the gap was a little wider. So yeah, very interesting. So, but Fuse is a good app. So I'm glad to see the guest gets a win. So that brings the guests up to 4 wins. I've got 5 wins. Jason's got 6
This year?
this year so far.
tally?
Yeah, the
Yep.
2015 tally
That's
so
where we're
far.
at right
So
now.
we're neck and neck.
Some people think this might be the year of the guest. No pressure.
Okay.
But I have a feeling you're coming armed with a pretty awesome app here. But because I was the loser, I will go first. Mine, I'll admit, it's probably not. I hate it starting a review with it's probably not going to win the arena. But the only reason I say that is because I know that not everybody is a fan of electronic music, and so if you're not a fan of electronic music, you have less reason to check out Mixcloud. Although I will say that there are plenty of technology podcasts on Mixcloud. So what is Mixcloud? Mixcloud is like an alternative to SoundCloud, but I would say it was probably created more with DJs in mind, really. You can't upload any music to Mixcloud that's any less than 15 minutes. So it's kind of designed, its strength is around DJ mixes.
Yep.
And so there are a lot of big name DJs that are on there. Nick Warren, Time Rider is a DJ that I'm a big fan of. Carl Cox. There's just a bunch of them on there that release regular, basically like mix podcasts. You know, them mixing at this club or this place or whatever the case may be. And it's just, I don't know, SoundCloud has had issues in the past couple of years. Like SoundCloud has a lot of DJ mixes and everything, but they've had kind of issues with mixes and music and rights being booted off because they're kind of the big name in the space. So Mixcloud has done some things with their deals and their service to kind of put that at bay. There are some restrictions in the US. There's no forward looking into the track list. So when you're playing a song, for example, go ahead and play it. And this is where people that hate dance music turn the show off.
Where am I? The W lobby?
It totally sounds like the W lobby.
Why? Because it's a kick drum and a snare and a hi-hat?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, for some reason I've been listening to electronic music lately. I've been like rediscovering it. Anyway, so you've got a
I'll
track
take a
listing.
Cosmo, thanks.
There's no Thievery Corporation in here as far as I know. You won't see the next track, and they kind of do that so that you can't pick and choose, right? That you have to kind of listen to it. It becomes more like a radio station than anything else. On the web, you can't scan backwards, but on the app, you can. And that's supposed to be a limitation in the U.S. So I don't know. Maybe my device is identifying as not U.S. at the moment.
Maybe this is why Google can't find your device.
Fair enough. You might actually be onto something there.
Thank you, Google.
Thank you. I can scan backwards. And Mixcloud doesn't allow you to download. So some people would see that as a downside as well. But what that enables is for all of these mix CDs to be put onto this service and kind of be put there legally, and the artists get paid and all that kind of stuff. But as you can see, there are a lot of different categories, including technology. You'll find all the Twitch shows in the technology area. It's like, I don't know, it's like an audio media marketplace, where everything's free, and the majority of stuff is probably DJ mixes and electronic music. Ooh, I like the lights changing in the background. That's fancy. But there is other stuff in here, as you can see: comedy, culture, food, all these different types of things. And of course, you can follow different people. You can favorite and add to your profile. If you like something, you can add it to your favorites, whatever. I've just found myself using it a lot lately because there's an unlimited kind of supply of free music, and I happen to be listening to electronic music lately, so it's kind of fit the bill. So that's why I say probably doesn't appeal to everybody, but if you like this kind of music, and even if you don't, you should check out Mixcloud because it has a lot of other stuff too.
Politics. It's got politics.
It has politics. Let's see what's in there, because I've never once tapped on that category.
It's got some real liberal beats.
Well, Barack Obama's weekly address is in there.
Oh, cool.
Slate's political gabfest.
See, so it's not all about
New Yorker
EDM.
political scene.
all.
Democracy Now. Yeah, it's got it all, man.
Yeah, there
Look
you
at
go.
that. Real
Decode
time.
DC is great.
I bet you it is. Does that mean you're going to vote for it?
Maybe.
No, I don't see
I
it.
might vote for it.
NPR, it's all politics. So you can kind of go in and, people will comment down at the bottom and everything. So
Did they layer in a drum track underneath the NPR podcast?
yeah, they probably should. They'd be catering to their audience. So anyways, I like it. It's called Mixcloud. It's kind of an alternative to SoundCloud. And you should check it out. So there you go. And that's free. All right. So Brady, you're bringing the big guns.
Kind of. Load up ringly.com.
Okay.
So I don't actually have a Ringly because, and this, I don't know the exact demographic of your show, but I'm kind of guessing that it may not be exactly for, ringly.com.
Okay, I'm sending this to Bryan so Bryan can pull it up. There you go. Ringly.com, Bryan.
A Ringly is aimed at women. The idea is your phone is in your purse, and you can set, if you scroll down, I think it'll show the app. Yep. So you can set the color of how you'll want your the ring to look when you get a phone call or a tweet or an SMS. And so, if you scroll down, so those are the different rings, and it'll vibrate when something happens if you want it to happen. Yeah. And then the light will tell you what has happened. So it'll buzz.
It's pretty cool.
And you could set it for like green for your partner, red for work, blue for the kids, that type of thing. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. They're shipping now.
That's really neat.
Yeah, team out
So
of
is it
team out of New York.
Connected
so it's
via Bluetooth?
Yeah.
And not too much of a battery drain or a power drain on it? Or?
I think it lasts for about 3 days.
Okay.
Maybe, it might be longer than that. And then the battery, or the ring box is actually the charger.
Oh, cool.
So you charge the ring box, and then you could just throw that in. That lasts for 30 days.
Yeah.
So you don't have to like charge another thing while you're on the road.
Oh, interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're actually, so I'll have it installed probably the next time I come here because they're making me one that's a little.
Making you a dude one?
They're kind of making me a dude one, basically. So if you go back to, they have a termulated quartz, the downtown dive bar, and normally they scroll up a little bit more, up. Yeah, that one. So normally they put a layer of silver paint underneath it to hide the circuit board. For me, they're going to leave it unpainted
very cool.
so that I can see the circuit board.
Nice.
Which I'm...
Could I put in a request?
Yeah?
Hoop?
Thumb ring.
No, oh.
Thumb ring.
Well, you could.
Thumb ring version.
You really, it'll fit any finger.
Can I design one?
I think you could just buy it and put it on your thumb.
Oh, that works too. Okay, all right. You convinced me. Still people in the chat room telling me how to draw poop.
We need to come back to that after the arena. We need to remember.
All right. We'll report
in.
We'll see where we get. Okay.
Cool.
That's awesome. So
Ringley's
that is
cool.
Ringley. You can find the hardware at ringley.com.
Yep.
And then, of course, the app is in the Play Store.
And that went through. So the last time I was here was right when I was starting Highway 1.
Oh, wow.
They were in the first class.
Nice.
Cool. How
And
many
so they're
classes
now-
have there been since?
We're on number 4 right now.
Cool.
NAVD is the other kind of big one that went through. Are you guys familiar with that one? It's like a heads-up display for cars.
Yes.
And that's
yeah.
actually running Android, kind of like how the watch is running Android.
Right.
Okay. NAVD car head-up display. Is it head-up or heads-up?
Heads.
I never know. I never know on that
But
one.
yeah, that's
We got a sandwich video, huh?
yeah. It's got a sandwich video. See, it's big time.
So it projects it onto the...
It looks like it projects it onto your screen,
Wow.
and then
That's
it
cool.
uses gestures. So, say you get a phone call, you say yes or no for answering it.
Thumbs up, thumbs down for
Yeah.
yes or no.
And Spotify, you kind of swipe back and forth. Adam shows it in the video.
Oh, I see. Okay. I was missing the screen that it was
Yeah, so it's got a
projecting
Pico projector, hits a
Oh.
mirror, then there's a thing like an optical shield called a combiner. And then that's what makes it seem like it's in front of you.
on. Uh-huh. Right. Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So around the time,
The fact that you can see through it, that's really good. I mean, that's...
yeah.
It kind of gives you the full view of everything in front of you. Yeah.
So around the time that I was on the show, I probably met them about a month later, and they had a prototype that was the size of this kitchen table. Like they were using like a regular projector and like playing around the optics. And then by the time they came into the program, it was like the size of a shoebox. And by the time they left, it was actually the one in the sandwich video. And now it's even slimmer.
Wow.
And then
That's
they're like
cool.
going to production, and
It's got to be awesome
doing
to
stuff
see
like
it.
that.
Very cool.
See it.
Yeah,
hit
it's
all
kind of
those-
fun.
Those levels. Yeah. The variation of it. Very cool stuff. So that is NAVD, by the way. That's not in the
that's-
arena, but
yeah.
NAVDY.
And that's running Android is why I mentioned it.
Oh,
Nice. Very cool.
Excellent.
Like the watch, like the Schmapple watch.
All right. What about you, Ron? What
All
you
right. So if you're like me, you take a lot of pictures on your phone and then forget about them. And they just post on Instagram and walk away, or they get uploaded up to Google to go somewhere, whether it's Google Plus or Google Drive or whatnot. But I'm very rarely organize my photos. I'm not one of those types. But this app called Slide Pick actually makes it really easy to organize your photos in a couple of different ways, and it's got some neat material design to go along with it. So it's kind of I know I rarely. Is he trying?
You want to win the bunny phone. You want to win the bunny phone.
What's great is I cut to the shot. I just see you drawing poo.
I wish I had two bunny phones.
Oh man.
Sorry, I'm practicing. I really want to know.
Lordy. Okay, so it's got some nice material design, and that's kind of what jumped out at me about it. So there's Slide Pick. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can simply start by.
Oh. Did you get it?
Did he do it?
Boom!
We have poo.
That's just in.
We have poo.
Sorry,
Poo.
Ron. I expected to show this
No,
off
it's okay. No
afterwards.
problem. It's important. It's breaking
Wow.
news. It's
It's
breaking
breaking
poo news.
news.
Brian. It's breaking poo.
We have unlocked the poo.
It's breaking. Breaking poos.
Breaking poos.
Oh boy.
All right.
Wow.
So-
Sorry. This
All right. Can we
episode
move on
went,
now?
this episode
Can
went
we-
into the toilet.
The episode went in the toilet.
Oh.
Sorry.
No
Okay.
rim shot.
All right. No more.
Brian.
No more.
I'm not
go.
going to
You're not gonna-
acknowledge that joke with a rim shot.
Oh, come on.
Oh, breaking poos. Okay, so back to Slide Pick. So what you can do is you can create an album, and so I'm just going to create a new album, say photos, right? And do that. And you can choose whether you want to save them locally to your phone, or you can choose to save to Dropbox, and they're working on implementing Google Drive, OneDrive, and Box, and the other kind of cloud services. So you can either save it locally or save it out in the cloud. And then once you've created it, you can choose your folders from where you want to pull photos from. So I'm going to choose from my camera. I'm going to say done. And now what happens is that it takes almost like the Tinder style approach to your photos and allows you to decide whether or not you want to include them in the album or keep them at all. So what happens is that if you swipe to the left, you just skip the photo. If you swipe to the right, it adds it to your album. So what now happens is that when you're waiting in line to use the ATM, or you're waiting to pick up your food or whatever, you've got a couple of seconds. You can organize your photos while you're doing it. So and it allows you to copy them from the original file location to your album. And so here now we got that. I can swipe that. I got a picture of a band. I can swipe that. I don't want to keep that. And it just, here's some prosciutto. I'm going to keep that. And there's another shot of the band. I'm going to keep that. Here's some pasta. I'm not going to keep that. I'm going to put that in the pasta one.
I like it.
Awesome.
So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
That's pretty great.
So now, in addition to that, it's not just that one.
Okay.
But they've got what they call cleaning mode, okay, which allows you to go through and you can use the same swipe left or right to decide whether you want to delete it or keep it. So I want to keep it, so I'm going to save it. I want to delete it, so it's going to not save it. And it's that same way to clean up your photo albums. And when you're, the key to this is when you've got that 30 seconds of you doing nothing, as opposed to going to look at Instagram or look at Twitter or whatever, you can look through your own photos and organize them.
That's crazy. Why would I look through my own photos?
Right, exactly. But then the last bit, which I thought is really, really interesting, which is something that I would love to see Google implement into the default camera, is that they have something called Instant Album, which is you can set it up so that when you take photos, it automatically drops them right into the album. So if I go to a concert, I can set up an album. Last night, Jason, you could have set up the Faith No More album, and every photo you took would go right into that file folder. So it's a way to organize them on the fly. So really interesting. My only critique of it is that in order to do that, you need to use their camera inside the app, and it's not as fully featured as the default camera. You can't control exposure levels or things like that. It's a pretty simple camera. You can turn the flash on or off, and that's about it. So slide pick. So it's a way to Tinderize your photos and make it easier to organize them into albums or to just delete them and choose what you want to save. So
Awesome.
Yeah. So slide pick and some nice material design in there, that action button. So cool.
Excellent. Slide pick. One word. That's all you need to know. Let's see here. I'm setting up the poll so that you can all get to it. All you got to do, it should be ready about now. AAApoll.com/210. AAApoll.com/210 will take you to the poll, and you can vote for your favorite. Is it Mixcloud, Ringly, or Slide Pick? Let us know. We'll check back in next week and see if this really is the year of the guest.
Boom.
Oh, there it is. It's a rare arena. I do a photo app. I'm not a big photo app guy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I probably do a lot of photo
You do a lot
apps.
of them. Eileen used to do a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I remember.
So
Cool stuff. All right, I'm happy that we got to the bottom of the emoji mystery.
Thank goodness.
So that nullifies the contest, by the way. Although if you did any videos in the time period of 10 minutes ago when we said to make a video, still send it in.
Yeah,
It'd be funny to
So
see.
I guess you get the bunny phone.
There we go.
I'm not sure that I do. I actually I will go ahead and give credit to Bleak in the chat room who gave me the template. He posted a link of him.
Oh my God.
Here, I'll go ahead and give you this in chat, Bryan.
Yeah. Let's give Bleak credit. He deserves it.
He showed me the template for drawing the poo emoji and actually getting it to show up.
Now, it
There
got a
is in
little
chat.
crazy. Can we see it happen again? I want to see it happen live again.
I don't know if I'm willing to try it again. I don't want to jinx it. I think we've spent enough time on poo.
We spent enough time
to be
on
honest,
it, including waiting for the screenshot. All right.
There we go. So, see?
There it is.
Apparently, that's all you need to do. Although mine had steamy lines on it, or flies or something.
Yeah.
Mine had something else with it. Anyways, I think people are probably sick of the whole poo thing. Mine had steamy lines and flies, which I did not draw that extra accoutrement, but it's there.
Yep. There it is.
I don't know. Your mileage may vary when drawing poo. But anyways,
Mileage
Bleak.
may vary when drawing poo. More all about Android quotes.
Yes. Bleak, I will get in touch with you, and you will be the lucky recipient of the rabbit phone.
Yeah.
Bunny.
The bunny phone. Are you serious?
Yeah.
You don't want to keep this for yourself?
It's tempting.
I mean, it is yours. You have
No.
first right of refusal.
No.
It's very Tamagotchi-esque.
It kind
It's
of
I give it forward. I've got
Paid forward, yeah.
2 other phones
You've got like a
on
whole,
me that
whole
I already
catalog
don't
of
use.
these hanging out. You bought a box of them.
I mean, I really get them for stuff like this.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I'm happy
All
to
right.
give it away.
All right, I'll get in touch with you, Bleak. This is yours.
This I couldn't live without.
don't.
So
No,
sorry,
You
Bleak.
can't part with that one. Yeah,
hold on
that-
to that.
that-
Until I find a smaller one.
the tiny phone.
Yeah.
Tiny phone.
Brady Forrest, man, it's always a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so
Thanks.
much for coming up and
Yeah.
being in the studio and showing
Thanks
us
for
your
having
stuff.
me. And may I plug for just one?
Yeah, this is your opportunity to do that.
All
Absolutely.
right. Hi everyone. Hardware Accelerator. We're looking for teams. There'll be news about that tomorrow. But you can just reach out to me now if you have a hardware startup and you want to see what we're doing and see if we can help you.
What an exciting
That's cool.
job. That's so cool. Just
It's kind of
to
awesome.
facilitate people building these things and to be so close to all that stuff. That's
I've got
crazy.
10,000 square feet, 1,000 square feet of shop, 3 engineers, design, shop tech,
Wow.
PR, biz dev.
Wow, man.
That's cool.
That's crazy cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing awesome things. We'd love to have you back, and I would love for you to come back sooner than almost a couple of years later.
Well, I respond to your emails.
I know. I did. All right. Well, then it's up to me, and I'll be in touch, and we'll bring you back. There we go. I really appreciate it. That's highway, the number 1.io if you want to find out more. Ron, what about you? What you got going?
Yeah, so if you want to find me, go to about.me/RonXO, where you can find all the links to my social media over at Google Plus and Twitter and Instagram and all the fun stuff. And as always, you can go to ronxo.thinkup.com and see the insights into my musings. It's been a very busy week for me over there on ThinkUp, but love it. It's a great app. But yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
so
ThinkUp is awesome.
yeah, ThinkUp was great.
Love it. Brian, what about you?
Well, kind of had to sit on some news for a couple weeks, but we're
That must
doing
have been
that
uncomfortable.
screen. Yeah, well, speaking of poop, yeah, Screensavers coming up, and I'll be pushing buttons on that show, so you guys can watch that. That was pretty exciting news. And other than that, I do a how-to show with Padre on Thursdays, so tune in to that at 11 o'clock.
I will build on the excitement around the new screensavers. The original screensavers was the gateway drug for me into tech content. I was back on the East Coast watching on Tech TV, and I saw folks like I saw Leo, and that's where I found out about Patrick Norton and Kevin and Prager and Sarah and that whole crew. And that actually, and then followed by Buzz Out Loud is what led me here to San Francisco. And so, so when I saw the news and that you're a part of it, that's gonna be amazing. It's
gonna be a lot of fun.
I can't wait as a fan. I can't wait to see it. So.
It's already been a lot of fun. We rode segways around San Francisco and Petaluma for 2 days. That was a lot of fun. We're all really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good time.
And you were the only person who didn't fall down on the Segway.
It's
So
true.
Bravo,
I was also the only
sir.
person that didn't fit on the Segway.
That's
I was
true.
too tall for it.
You were
And it was-
crouched over the whole time.
It's obvious to me now that when I watch the intro for it, I'm like, ooh. Yeah. But yes, new Screensavers launches. Is it May 2nd? Is that right?
I
I believe May
think so.
2nd is the date. It's going to be Saturdays. So
Awesome.
definitely tune in for that.
Who's the host?
We all are. I mean, Leo
Leo's
is
the
like,
main guy.
okay.
Leo is the host.
Got it.
And then he brings on, a bunch of
Folks.
folks here, as well as some of the long-standing, Kevin Rose,
Cool.
Patrick Norton, some of the old
Fun.
Screensavers as
Nice.
well.
Nice.
So, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So that is that. You can find me at about.me/Jason Howell. Follow my music at yellowgoldmusic.com. I do this other Android show called Android App Arena, which you can find at twit.tv/arena. A bunch more Android apps that I review all the time. Whew, and that is a challenge, but I do it week in and week out because I love you.
You're dedicated.
But that is it for this week. Leave us a voicemail. Let your voice be heard. It's 347-SHOW-AAA. You can always send us an email or a link to a video in your email at AAA@twit.tv. We're on Twitter. We're at Android Show. We're on Reddit. We're twitaaa.reddit.com. We're on Google Plus. We have a community there, a very vibrant community. I love it. Just search for All About Android on Google Plus. You can find show notes and past episodes at twit.tv/AAA, as well as past episodes on YouTube and iTunes. And you can catch the show live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, live.twit.tv. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week on another episode of All About Android. Yeah.
See you later.
See y'all.